What if I told you that the reality you accept every single day is in fact a carefully constructed illusion? No, this isn't the script for a science fiction movie. This is about the most fundamental and forbidden truth of your existence. The truth that you were born with innate powers capable of challenging the very laws of the world you were introduced to. That nagging feeling that follows you around. That sense that you are so much more than your daily routine suggests. That's not a delusion. It is your infinite consciousness trying to break free from the chains of a programming you were taught to call life. The forbidden truth is that you've been convinced. You're just a cog in the machine, when in reality, you are its engineer. They taught you to fear your own light, to doubt your power, and to settle for the crumbs of a pre-approved existence. In this script, we are going to do the unthinkable. We will expose this programming, understand how it was installed in your mind, and most importantly, hand you the tools to deactivate it once and for all. Prepare yourself, because what you are about to discover won't just set you free, it will give you back the power to create your own reality. Have you ever stopped to feel that no matter how hard you try, it seems like you're just walking in circles? It's as if there's an invisible barrier, a kind of mental prison that keeps us from moving beyond our limits. The bars aren't made of iron, but of beliefs, rules, and above all, good old-fashioned fear. And the most ironic part? There's no warden watching us from a high tower. We're the ones holding the key to our own cell, but we rarely ever use it. So you ask yourself, how can such an efficient control system operate without us even noticing? The answer is as simple as it is brilliant. It doesn't operate through force, but through the subtlety of the mental programming we've received since birth. Think of it as software installed in our minds, running in the background, dictating our automatic reaction. This program defines what is normal, what is safe, and of course, what is impossible to achieve. And this is where it gets even more interesting, because the system found a way to sustain itself without needing any guards. We have become the guards of one another. This self-policing mechanism is the glue that holds the entire prison structure together. It's that sideways glance when someone dares to dress differently, the veiled criticism of a friend who left a safe job to follow a dream, the constant judgment on social media. In practice, it works like this. Every time you even think about stepping out of your comfort zone, a little voice inside you sounds the alarm. Careful, that's too risky. What will people think of you? What if it all goes wrong? That voice, my friend, is not your intuition. It is the echo of the collective mindset, the fear of the other prisoners reflected in you, ensuring that no one dares to prove that the cell door was, in fact, never locked. It's a hell of a paradox, don't you think? We live with a potential we can barely even imagine, yet we spend our days policing ourselves to fit into an ever-shrinking box. But what if this whole notion that we are limited and powerless is the biggest prank ever played on us? What if behind all this programming there is a truth about who we really are? A truth so powerful that it was hidden on purpose. The great lie we were told, the very foundation of this mental prison, is that we are flawed, small beings, born in sin, and separate from a creator source. The truth, however, is the exact opposite, and it has been whispered by sages throughout history. You're not just a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop. Your true nature is that of an infinite consciousness, pure, creative, and limitless. This might sound like something new, but it is knowledge older than the pyramids. Esoteric traditions like Hermeticism, Theosophy, the Vedas of India, and the Gnostics taught this millennia ago. They all spoke in different words of the same thing, the existence of a divine spark within each and every one of us. The idea is that the force that governs the universe is not some distant entity, but the very consciousness that animates you in this exact moment. This is why the much talked about awakening is not a goal to be achieved, but a state to be rediscovered. It is a process of unforgetting, of remembering what you have always been. Imagine a lion raised from birth among sheep, believing it is one of them. It doesn't need to learn how to be a lion. It only needs to remember its roar, its true and powerful nature that was always there, lying dormant. In practical terms, recognizing yourself as this infinite consciousness changes the entire game. It means that the limits you believe you have in your career, in your relationships, in your ability to create are not real. They are just the graffiti-covered walls of your mental cell, which you've grown accustomed to seeing as the edge of the world. Start asking yourself, if I knew without a shadow of a doubt that I am limitless, what would I do differently tomorrow morning? But if we are all this powerful, this divinity in a physical body, the million-dollar question remains, why did we forget this so profoundly? Was it a simple cosmic accident? A collective amnesia? Or is it possible that, from the day we were born, we were subjected to an intense social programming, designed precisely to make us forget the power we hold? The answer is that this forgetting was no accident. From the moment we are born, we are immersed in a massive process of mental programming and social conditioning. The very institutions that should liberate us, family, school, media, and even religion, often end up, however unconsciously, becoming the primary tools of this forgetting. The goal is to mold us into predictable citizens and efficient consumers, not into conscious and limitless beings. Think about your school years, for example. We were rewarded for memorizing prepackaged answers, not for asking daring questions. We learned to compete for grades and to fear failure, instead of collaborating and learning from our mistakes. This system wasn't designed to cultivate genius, but to teach obedience. It's the first major layer of conditioning, teaching us to value external approval over our own inner wisdom. Then the media takes over. The news bombards us with a narrative of chaos and danger, cultivating a state of fear and anxiety that makes us easier to manipulate. After all, a person who is afraid doesn't question. They seek safety at any cost. At the same time, advertising creates an artificial void, convincing us that happiness is always in the next car, the next phone, the next purchase that never truly fulfills us. You see, the master tool behind all of this programming is always the same: fear. Fear of not belonging, fear of being ridiculed, fear of scarcity, fear of being left behind. This fear is the true guard dog of the mental prison, the one that barks furiously every time we get too close to the bars. It convinces us that it's better to be a safe prisoner than a free explorer, subject to risks. So here we are, divine beings, programmed to feel small, conditioned by fear to police ourselves and others. It sounds like a hopeless script, a perfect trap. But what if I told you that every program can be uninstalled? True liberation doesn't come from fighting the world out there, but from an internal, conscious, and courageous process of deprogramming your own mind. So the great turning point begins when you understand that liberation is an inside job. It's useless to blame the system, the politicians, or your parents, as that only reinforces a victim mentality. The true revolution is silent and individual. The path of awakening is an active process of deprogramming, as if you were an ethical hacker entering your own mind to delete viruses and rewrite the source code. The first practical step is to become an investigator of your own limiting beliefs. Grab a notebook and, for 1 week, write down every time a thought like "I can't do this," "That's not for me," or "I need to do this to be accepted" comes up. Next to each one, ask with the curiosity of a child, who told me this for the first time? Does this belief truly serve me, or is it just keeping me safe inside the cage? Next, it's time to face fear head-on and choose authenticity. Deprogramming doesn't just happen in the realm of ideas, it requires action. Start with small acts of courage that challenge your programming. Say a gentle no when you feel like it. Wear that outfit you love but think is too bold. Or dedicate 1 hour of your day to a hobby you were told was a waste of time. Every authentic choice is a brick you remove from the wall of your prison. A crucial point in this process is to resign from your post as a guard. This means, first, stopping the cruel self-policing, the self-criticism, the paralyzing perfectionism, the guilt. Observe that inner voice, and instead of obeying it, just thank it and move on. Then do the same with others. Abandon the habit of judging, gossiping, and policing the lives of others. By giving freedom to others, you, by a mirror effect, grant it to yourself. This path of questioning beliefs, acting with authenticity, and abandoning judgment is the essence of deprogramming. It is manual, conscious work that demands attention. But amidst the rush and noise of modern life, how can we find the clarity to do this? What if there were a tool, an internal technology capable of silencing the noise of the programmed mind and connecting you directly with your pure consciousness? This internal technology, simple and revolutionary, is meditation. But please forget any idea that you need to become a monk or levitate in a cave. Look at meditation pragmatically. It is the most effective deprogramming tool that exists. It's your personal safe mode, allowing you to observe your mind's operating system without the automatic programs running and controlling you. In practice, it works like this. As you sit in silence, you simply observe the flow of thoughts without clinging to them. Your mind, a product of your conditioning, will throw everything at you. Worries, to-do lists, self-criticism, fears. The key insight is not to fight any of it. You simply watch this mental parade go by as if they were clouds moving across the sky. This act of non-judgmental observation is what strips the program of its power. In this process, you begin to notice small gaps of silence between one thought and the next. It's in these intervals that the magic happens. There, free from the noise of the programmed mind, you experience a glimpse of your true essence, pure consciousness. It's not something you think, it's something you feel. It is the profound realization that you are not the voice in your head, but the silent presence that listens to it. This realization is the beginning of the end of the illusion. To start, don't overcomplicate it. Sit in a chair with your spine straight, close your eyes, and bring your attention to your breath. Just feel the air coming in and going out. Will your mind wander every 10 seconds? Yes, and that's perfectly okay. The exercise of meditation isn't to keep your mind blank, but rather the act of, every time you notice the distraction, gently bringing your attention back to your breath, 1,000 times if necessary. Start with 5 minutes a day. Think of these 5 minutes not as another task, but as your daily act of conscious rebellion. It is your silent declaration that you are taking back control of your own mind. Meditation is the most direct tool to dissolve the layers of conditioning and reconnect you with your limitless nature. Through it, you don't achieve liberation. You simply realize that it has always been there, waiting for you. Now the truth is in your hands. You understand the nature of the mental prison. You recognize the programming that was installed, and you know the tool to begin your liberation. The big question is no longer what is happening, but has become, what am I going to do about it? Will you continue to surrender your power to fear and self-policing, or will you choose starting today to take the first step toward your authenticity? Ask yourself with complete honesty, what is the first limiting belief you are going to challenge this week? What small act of courage can you take to honor who you truly are, even if your hands are shaking? Are you willing to dedicate 5 minutes of your day to silencing the external noise and finally hearing the voice of your own soul? The journey of deprogramming is the most important adventure of your life, and it begins with a single, conscious decision. If this content sparked something in you, hit the like button so this message can reach more people, and comment below what your first act of deprogramming will be. And of course, if you're ready to continue this journey of rediscovery, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, because this is just the beginning.